Hey, what's up everybody? First thing I'm going to show you guys on what I picked up is a couple of shirts. One of them that I'm wearing here, which is definitely the coolest one as far as I'm concerned. It's Kylo Ren with a couple of stormtroopers. We got another one. BB-8. They had two different BB-8 shirts. They got this one where it's kind of like schematics showing what he does. Like up there where it just shows a ball, it's him in his hiding mode, and then it shows like a bird's eye view of him for his head, and then shows him in color. Anyways, they did have another one that's kind of the same as this, like a baseball type jersey, but blue, where it just shows BB-8, large scale like that in full color. That one I'll probably still pick up. I just couldn't find one in my size yet. Anyways, that's on clothing, which I was lucky to find. Actually, all this stuff I was lucky to find is I'm in a small city here, man. Kingman's not that big, and I got out Friday, hence Force Friday, Star Wars Friday, whatever, and Walmart had a very abysmal amount of stuff, and it was pretty much just a few toys, which consisted of mostly micro machines. They had like a big display in one of the aisles just loaded full of them, and I don't think anybody gave a shit. And like action figures, very small amount, which some of those I noticed got bought up, and the small action figures I could care less about unless there's one that's just really appealing to me. I just don't go for the small scale ones. Too easy to lose parts, and then it's like you got to tear them out of the package if you want to have them displayed. Which these ones, not a problem. So what I picked up here was some of the 12-inch characters. Not just because they're bigger, but because I recently found myself some original 1977 12-inch figures, and these look awesome next to them. So I'm going to show you guys a more expensive one first. The common price for these was $9.95 or whatever, and this first one I'm going to show you was the only one that I saw that was a little bit more expensive, mainly because he's got one more large part that comes with him other than his weapon. So this one was $14.99 or $95 or whatever. Anyways, this is a flame trooper. Really cool box art on all of them. I love the artwork. Gives you an idea of some of the other killer characters. It's Chewbacca and Finn Jakku. They did have Chewbacca, and on that, I might pick him up just to have him because he was $10 or whatever. But I don't like the way they did the sculpt on his face. They did it just too smooth to where it doesn't show the effect of his beast fur there. And he looked too fucking happy. It looked like a little kid toy. It just didn't look right to me. But for $10, whatever. I did notice the blaster, his crossbow blaster or whatever, looked pretty cool. It was two pieces to where you got the gun part and then you put the bow on it. So I'll slide this guy out of the package. I'm going to do the same thing with the others because I'm not ready to put them anywhere yet. Got to keep them in the boxes for now. But I'll at least slide them out of the package here. And the cardboard insert just to show you what all you get. Now on this guy, as I've already opened them, what I don't understand is this guy, his flamethrower, it's this flexible rubber. It's not horrible, it's a flexible rubber that they used for it. And the other one I'm going to show, solid plastic for the weapon. Other than that, this guy looks really freaking cool. Nice different look there from one of the newer stormtroopers. So there is his flamethrower, which is detailed nice, but as you can see, it's that hard rubber. Which on that, I don't recommend setting him near a window, but if you got a place Where you're going to put them where it gets a little warm. Sometimes that stuff will harden up after time. Otherwise, no biggie. In the backpack, there's fuel canisters there. I like how they did the hose to where it looks like a pipe coming down out of the pack, and then they made it look like it's actual hosing attached to that, which has some texture going down it to make it look like it's some kind of a fabric hosing or whatever. Show you the other trooper. Glad they had this guy because one of my 70s action figures is the original Stormtrooper, so it's cool to have a newer made one. And something I noticed in another person's video that was actually doing a review of it, his blaster fits onto the side of his leg via a peg or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool if you don't want to have it in his hands. Nice. Same thing. Really cool box art. Nice detail on the Stormtrooper, and what's strange to me, his blaster is solid plastic. There's no flex to it. And the detail's not bad on it. It's decent. This guy, it doesn't bug me. I don't care. I bug somebody younger that's more anal retentive on stuff when it comes to their toys, but to me it's like, I've been around since the start, so just to have more Star Wars stuff is cool enough. But there is one thing I'm going to point out on this. It's kind of, why did they do it that way? Because the rest of it's detailed really nice. Anyways. Got one of Kylo Ren. More kick-ass looking box art. And they did have one of the larger size action figures for this guy. Not the deluxe 31-inch whatever, but kind of the in-between that's like maybe 24 something inches. But I wasn't happy on the quality compared to this. Even now that I'm going to point out something I'm not real happy with, but not a big deal. Anyways, here. Nice and detailed. And swords just, or lightsabers just held on by a rubber band, so I'll show that to you. Nice detail on his lightsaber. Like the way they did it, like it's almost unstable on the energy. Like instead of just having a straight blade coming out, let alone the little cross guards there, it's got like energy flowing around it, especially up in here. And that's hard plastic and transparent, as you can see the lights going through it. And pretty nice detail on the handle there. It is all one color, but not bad looking. One thing that I don't know why they did it this way. All totally flat there. They just molded his legs into the skirt, which will definitely make him stand up easier for display, but I don't know why they didn't just have the skirt like a loose piece of plastic wrapped around him. Doesn't make sense. Oh, and something else to bring up on these, unless it's stamped on his back or something, which I doubt. On one of the feet on each one, it just says LFL Hasbro SA made in Indonesia, but there's no date. They used to always have a date stamp somewhere. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. It's pretty cool. Now comparing him to the larger scale one that I saw, first off here, as you can see, his buckle there has been painted. The large scale one, just black. And then also, this one, the hood and everything, and he does have a flap going behind him, which is all covered up now. So it's not just molded in like the skirt, but all plastic on this. That's just got a little bit of flex to it. The larger scale one, it was actually material. That's the only thing I saw that it had going for it. Couldn't see enough of the sword because, as usual, they had it inside a little piece of cardboard, so it kind of covered up, so I couldn't see the blade or anything. But on the detail of his face there, on his helmet, all that silver area, not as good. It's like they just did it sloppy. So maybe it was a reject that they just got out there with and didn't do a very good job, or that's how it's going to be. I did notice they do have the big 31-inch one or whatever. That one looked pretty damn good. But I think the same thing on that. For some reason, they didn't paint the buckle. It's pretty much just this guy, but in a large scale with a cloth hood and everything. Otherwise, definitely worth $10, man. On other stuff that they had What's Your Name on her speeder bike. I forget what her name is. She's like the scavenger girl that I guess turns Jedi or whatever. Anyways, they had that toy, but that was $24.95 and wasn't ready to put out that much on something, but I have seen some videos on it and it looks like it's well made. Oh, and speaking of air hogs, this is where, once again, Walmart's website, you can't go by their stupid website sometimes because they were saying my store had it, and that was something that I was definitely interested in. Air Hogs has the original speeder for Luke Skywalker that's remote controlled, and it looked cool. Wasn't super on the detail, but it didn't look bad. It looks like you can put an action figure of him inside of it. And I don't know if it's one where it sticks to the ground or whatever, where it's got to be like on a kitchen floor or on the wall or what. Couldn't tell if it had wheels or not, but they were showing it on the Walmart site and acting like they had it in my store, so either they didn't set it out yet or it was bullshit. But it looked pretty cool for an Air Hogs toy. So, don't want to make this vid too insanely long here. If I decide to pick anything else up, if they get anything more in, which maybe they'll have more stuff in the next couple of days, if they're still setting it out, might do another vid. Right now, man, I'm pretty much spent. They got all my money for today. Catch you all later.